you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.
Yes, people, you heard it there. We've teamed up with Rocket Mobile to make the mobile phone plan for football fans in the UK for just £16 a month. You get unlimited calls, unlimited texts, unlimited data, and 20 gigs to use in the EU whenever you go abroad to the EU on your holidays, be that, in the summer, Easter holidays, or if you're going to go to an away game in Europe, which obviously I'm not going to be doing anytime soon, but I could be doing it next season. We'll get on to that. But apart from that, £16 a month, scan the QR code to learn about the prizes, perks, and other pieces of content you can unlock as soon as you make that switch, or click the link in the description to learn more details after the show. Now, last night, Manchester United got back to winning ways, and so the panel, or the producers, have given me an Arsenal fan and a Spurs fan to talk about it. On my left is Josh, normally on Friday, but he's here on a Tuesday this time. Are you still happy? Still happy after Sunday?
I'm so happy. I just needed you guys to deliver, and you delivered. Amazon setting, not every, because every never gets there. That's every are the Tottenham of delivery services. Yeah, they should be called Never. Yeah, disgraceful.
And meanwhile, if we're going back to the gantry. We've got on my right hand side it's Abby.
I'm free. I've been freed from my
Freed from the gantry.
Freed from the gantry. I don't know for how long, because producer Jason told me I've got to sit in it until we're safe. So, yeah.
Wait, is he actually?
He has told me that, but I don't know.
Every single week you're in the gantry.
They've got the minerals to build that every single week.
I'm not gonna lie. If someone had pre-told me, I would have got here even earlier to build the gantry. That gantry would have been built.
Well, if you want me in it on Thursday, I do feel like on Thursdays, if we haven't played, I should be allowed to sit at the main table.
I just realised that they've turned the White Hart Lanes sign round. That's really, really funny.
Good, because I always got, look how much Tottenham stuff is in this corner. Yeah,
Well,
every time I come
have
here.
you seen X is still staring
And he's
at
still
you?
staring at me. But that's the face he should have.
Yeah,
that's the face he
crazy.
should have.
Every time I walk in here and I see that, I'm like, whoa, like that's a life-size cut out of X. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Actually, to be fair, Abby, this is the first time I've seen you
Yeah.
in person since that Sunday result, because I wasn't here on Monday when you were in here.
Correct.
Are you feeling any better, any worse? Are you still just in the absolute mud?
Any better? What on earth would I
don't
have
know.
to feel better about?
48 hours to maybe go, it's Arsenal, we can move on?
No, if anything, it's probably hit harder. Like, we filmed Inside Talksport. We actually filmed Inside Spurs for Talksport this morning. And honestly, it might be one of the most depressing shows I've ever done, because there is not one positive that you can take at this point. There is not one bit of happiness, not one bit of vibe, nothing. It's like we are in a relegation battle, which we've been saying for weeks, but we really are. I think, who is it? They're 4 points behind us, West Ham.
Yeah.
Or is 2 points behind us. Anyone that has got these rose-tinted glasses on that wants to say that we're not, crazy, because we are. We firmly are. I looked at the fixtures. I can't foresee where we're picking up points. I said yesterday, if I could bank on the home games and home form, if we manage to win games at home, then I'd be like, all right, we'll be okay. But we don't win. We've won twice all season. I think 4 times, actually, if I go back to last January through to current present tense in the league. And I think that obviously the injuries are insane. We did nothing in terms of helping in January. We've had the same attacking issues the whole season. Apparently, Johan Lange said there was no one on the planet that could have helped us. And it's just really, really dark for us at the minute. So, got to go to Fulham, where we've, I think, only won once in the last 5.
And Fulham look pretty all right.
Fulham have got fully fit squad as well. We've got Palace at home. We've got Forest at home. We've got to go to Liverpool. We've got to go to Chelsea. We've got to go away to Sunderland. Like, people that are looking at those fixtures and saying, oh, it's a bit easier from now. I mean, nothing's easy for us. And I genuinely think that we will maybe stay up, and that will probably be down to everyone else being worse, or some of the teams having to play against us.
Wait. I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Right. If Arsenal play West Ham, and then it comes down to us beating them to save you.
To stay up.
Yeah.
It comes down to that game.
Well, we get to there and it becomes important. You need us to beat them to save you, yeah, or we beat them and you potentially go down.
Draw. Draw. Draw's best.
So
for both
it could be you need to beat West Ham to win the league.
We could have already won it by then, but we could win the.
No.
It could be to win the league as well.
If you've
know?
already won the league, then
if we've already won the league,
if you've already won the league, I'd have the favour. But
Okay.
if not,
but I'm like, would you want that held over your head that Arsenal saved you from relegation?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
no, I mean, if you've already won the league, then it's whatever. But like,
No.
cheers, mate.
We won the league. We took the crown, and then we went. Hold on,
If you're
dear peasants, we shall save you from this relegation battle. Take our hand. We will smite
okay,
the
Josh.
mighty West Ham
All
for you.
right, okay.
Feels very like Scar on
Yeah,
the
it really
Fassa,
is, isn't it?
actually.
I've got a question for you then.
Yeah, go
If
on.
let's say you theoretically had won the league, like you're fine by the time you
yeah.
play West Ham,
Yeah.
would you rather beat West Ham to save Tottenham to then hold it over their heads, or lose like 5-0?
5-0. No way, Jose.
No, but which swings the goal difference in West Ham's favour to hurt Spurs and help send them down.
Yeah, but I want to take 5-0 after being champions and then losing to relegation. No, that just looks bad on the thing. I'm not taking that. But
All right, 3-0. 2-1. Just lose.
Lose. I'll take.
Look, I'll
take a loss and they go down.
Nothing less.
But also, I would love to hold it over. What do you mean? You can never chat to us again. Either way, it doesn't matter. You can never chat to us again. If you get relegated, you've been relegated.
Yeah.
So don't talk to us ever. Yeah, ever again. Yeah. If you don't get relegated and you get saved because of us, the T-shirt Cecil is gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'd love to see that T-shirt.
Well,
The T-shirt. I was actually spoke to Cecil about it a few days ago, and he said he's got some ideas. He said he's got some ideas.
I bet he has. But yeah, no, it's not better. It's just reality's massively. I mean, I knew the reality before, but I had this weird like bounce of hopium, like thinking that a new manager bounce would actually help, and it don't help. So I don't know. I look at the way he sets up. He likes his three at the back. He's quite. I think he takes a bit of an Amarim stance, I think, as well.
Oh,
and I'm
it's
like, is that what
dead.
we really need at this point? But I'm not writing off Igor Tudor. Like, he's there for 11.
They're already not listening to him.
Well, apparently that actually wasn't the case. Apparently he was
What is
he
the
was trying
case?
to. Apparently it wasn't about Mickey van der Ven. Apparently he was actually talking to Dragusin. Apparently
He was the only one who was saving you in that first half.
he made up for it in the second. My gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was getting dragged to the left, dragged to the right. That's what he was getting.
Yeah, apparently he wasn't talking to Mickey van der Ven. Obviously it looks that way, but apparently he wasn't. He was talking to Dragusin.
I just think you guys. It's just the Spurs players look like they don't believe they can win a game of football.
I don't either. But I'm not the one that's out there for 90 minutes. I think that this is also the problem. Like, you got when you're in a relegation battle, you look at other teams that have been in it, and you know, Forest have been in those in and around those situations before, or you look at Leeds who've been in that situation, or even West Ham. You know, you've got, I think, or Burnley, you've got players that have got kind of have the nous to know what it takes to try and like fight in a relegation battle. And I think there is this arrogance around Tottenham and around the club that it's like, you're too good to go down. We're not too good to go down.
No,
We finished
'cause-
17th last season. Okay. And
Yeah.
yes, we were never in a relegation battle with 13 points off, but still,
You also won the most games a team have ever won without going down.
yeah.
Sorry, lost the most
Lost
games a
them
team ever won without going
so
down.
the
Yeah.
writing's been on the wall for some time. And this arrogance about you're too good to go down. We're not. We also have 13 players available, first team players and squad players. That's it.
Does that give you hope then in the way that like these players can come back, and these players are players who haven't been?
But they're not
like,
coming back.
Are they not coming back?
I think in terms of an attacking area, Kudus won't be back until April. Bergval's likely to be out for the rest of the season. Obviously, Madison, Kulusevski are done. They're not going to be back this season anyway. Wilson Odobert, ACL, not going to be back this season. That's it. That's all my options for you.
I don't even think it would have made a difference because
No.
even if they all, unless they all came back at the same time and then they was all back at 100%, it wouldn't have made a difference because you're coming back into a team that is literally crumbling.
But in terms of creating chances and in terms of having more quality, then like if you look at the 11 players that are out, also our goalkeeper's also out for some reason. Kinski, don't know what happened to him, but still,
He just disappeared.
like you know, Romero is out because of he's an idiot. But Romero being out, Danso, Udogi, Porro, that's a good back four. You know, you look Bentancur, Bergval, Madison. That's a starting midfield three: Kudus, Kulusevski, and Odegaard. Like, you have those players that are basically most of the time starters. And at the moment, what you're looking at is a bar, maybe like 3 or 4 players at a push. Everyone else is squad and filler. And I just think it is a travesty that this board did nothing to go and help that when you knew that most of your injuries were long term and a lot of them weren't going to be back. You know, you knew that Kudus, Maddison and Kulusevski weren't going to be back at all this season, and you go and do nothing in January to try and help the attacking threat. Nothing. And if there's part of me that is like, it's a weird thing to say because obviously I would never want to see us go down, but this board and the way that they have let this club down and let the fans down, they deserve to be relegated.
Right, did Daniel Levy see this coming? Is this why he jumped ship?
Well, Daniel Levy was sacked, but he still owns 33% of the club.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like, this is so Tottenham to have this thing where they go through all of these things and then the fans say, oh, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? They never do it because this is what they do. This is what they've always done. It's always been funds put in the wrong place, players spent on the wrong thing. When you're going in a certain direction, you're right. Everyone's saying, right, it's clearly you should be going left, and then they go right. Do you know what I'm saying? They literally do this all the time. And then the weirdest thing is that sometimes I get you're meant to support your team and have hope and stuff, but I'm like, literally, why do you fool yourselves? Like,
I mean, KC2K16 says, I wish I could hug Abby. She looks like she needs one.
I have needed a hug, to be fair. I have.
Oh, it's been a long week for Abby. And then
hugs are for winners. Losers get nothing.
Yeah, it's true.
Losers get relegated.
Yeah.
Jackson Commander, big up for the super chat as well, says, how bad would it be for Serie A and Italian football if none of their teams make it to the last 16 in the Champions League this year? Well, I mean, I think it's not something we haven't known, though, in the Serie A about the fact that the teams in the Serie A generally are. I know that obviously Inter Milan made the final last year, which was great for them, but for the most part, they are weaker than the Premier League teams because you see what happens when some Premier League players head over to the Serie A. They look brilliant, and vice versa. A lot of players go from the Serie A to the Premier League and don't quite translate properly.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually going to say something, but I don't actually know if this is going to make sense. So, you know, in terms of Italian players, and I'm not talking about players that come from like different countries, etc., but I'm talking about actually like at the core Italian players. Like the underachievement goes way beyond, I think, just the league. Like if you look at what they've been like, obviously missing various tournaments as well. I think that
they won the Euros and didn't qualify for the World Cup. Yeah. Like
there's a bigger problem there,
and they're still not qualified for this World Cup.
There's clearly a bigger problem, I think, that is in Italian football, not just on a league level, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie Dodge says 18-point gap. United and Spurs Europa League was false hope. I do remember the narrative around that being, you know, that like whoever wins this Europa League is going to change the club. It's going to and it changed you. It changed you, made you much worse.
By making them winners, it made them even more losers than they were before.
I think like breaking for us.
The deal they made to win that trophy is crazy.
It's crazy. Also, like the deal that Palace made as well to win their trophy.
Yeah,
and, it's crazy.
All these bird clubs that won that won all the trophies. Yeah, they've all flown. They've all gone.
Made a deal with the devil. But like, I think for us, it was just about getting like
even
that
Liverpool.
Breaking that trophy drought. We had to break the trophy drought. Like, if the board would have said that we're keeping Ange, I probably would have been like, all right, fine. But I do know in my heart that he would have been sacked by October. I know that.
Easily.
But I think
he would have just kept doing what he was doing before.
The difference is that like there was such a togetherness in that squad around the Europa League, and they loved Ange. They absolutely loved him.
You could tell after the final the way that they worked with him, and also the way he speaks about half the players as well on the overlap, etc. So that he clearly loved them as well.
Yeah. So I think that probably doing and keeping that and keeping him, like maybe it would have created a little bit more stability. Potentially, and maybe they could have grown on something, because I think like I ended up being Ange out very much towards the end, but I think that having that and keeping maybe the stability and whatever they were trying to do, and a manager that they believed in, I think then sacking him after they achieved that, I think maybe that derailed it. I think maybe that's why the players have got. So again, they've obviously been quite vocal about their grievances with
maybe
the
because they were so together with the idea of winning the Europa League with him, and then they just sacked him.
It's still unacceptable to lose 17 times, and I haven't changed my mind. I was from about April time. I was Ange out because I don't think that's acceptable. But I think
22 losses is crazy.
It's not up to me and my decision, and I think that maybe they should have kept Andrew a bit longer because of that.
Wouldn't have made a
togetherness.
difference. It would just
I
the
don't know if
same-
it'd be in a
prolonging the same thing.
But then they
like he's
prolong-
gone and done the same thing at Forest.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he was going to play the same way anyway, and then the players would have turned either way. Just it's because they wanted a trophy. They're Spurs, and they go, "Oh, we're never going to get a trophy ever." And this guy defied the odds
Yeah.
and got them the one thing
But-
that he would never
but
get.
I think-
of course, they're going to back him.
Yeah.
But they're not going to play under any better under him, and he's not going to suddenly turn it
But
around
do-
and go,
but
"Oh,
do you
we're
know-
going
do you know
to play
why
like
I
this
probably
instead."
disagree with that, and I think obviously that first season where we finished 5th, and we had loads of injuries that season as well. Obviously, last season we finished 17th and had loads of injuries this last season as well. Then we look at this season. If he would have been there, maybe we would have ended up in the exact same situation. I don't know, but I feel like the players would have been more connected. They obviously never connected with Thomas Frank. You could see that from early doors. And then this board kept Thomas Frank way too long. So I think that I still think he was right to be sacked, but I wouldn't have personally I probably would have been like, all right, fine, go on then. Like, give him
As in,
another
if it
go.
hadn't happened, you'd have been
Yeah.
like... Because to be fair, that's the attitude I had with
Not if
Eric
he
Ten
wouldn't have won
Hag.
the Europa League. If he
Huh?
had, not if he hadn't.
Oh, yeah, if
the
he hadn't
Europa-
won, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the attitude I had with Eric Ten Hag when he won the
Yeah.
FA Cup. It was like I was teeter on the side. Like I remember, like what the Neville episodes, I was being like, I just was like, I don't think this is going to work. I don't know why we would continue with this because we all know what's going to happen in a few months'
Which is
time,
kind of how I
regardless.
felt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but and then he won the FA Cup, and I was like, okay, if the board feel there's something here, if the board are giving him like extending his 1 year, like his contract by a year, if they see something's happened, they've had a conversation. Clearly, they see
Yeah.
something will happen here. But obviously, then it didn't work out in the end. But I do kind of get where you're coming from there because I
Yeah.
was in a similar situation
I'm
with that.
not saying it would have been a good idea and it probably would have ended terribly, but maybe this team, or you could see how much that they loved Ange, so maybe that would have been better.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is this team don't know how to be in a dogfight. I don't think they've got the minerals for it, and that's what worries
They
me
can't
the most.
scrap.
That's what worries
Yeah.
me the most. You've got to be ready to scrap.
I remember.
relegation
I said
battle.
yesterday on here. I said yesterday. I think the thing I have with Spurs is like West Ham. From what I've seen from them of late, are
They've got the
better than
hunger.
you.
Yeah.
They've got the
They've got
hunger.
the
They've
hunger.
got Nuno.
Forest as well.
Forest.
They've got Nuno
They were
and
unlucky
Forest.
against
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Forest now they've won 3-0 in the Europa League in Vitor Pereira's first game. Liverpool, they were so unlucky not to get at least 1 point in that game.
yeah.
Spurs deservedly got absolutely battered.
Yeah, you're right.
Eze is now the 5th all-time top goal scorer in the North London Derby history. Just in case you didn't know already.
I didn't actually.
5th all-time top goal scorer
Yeah,
in
look,
2 games.
It's all so embarrassing. It's just it's
love it.
so embarrassing. But this
Yeah.
club continues to embarrass me. It continues to
Oh,
embarrass.
that's a great question.
Continues to embarrass this fan base.
SA Fally99, sorry if I butchered your name, says, serious question, would Abbi actually take Amorim if the whole squad is fit, if the Spurs squad are because the Spurs squad are more suitable for his formation?
No.
Still wouldn't take Ruben.
And I think that you'll see with Igor Tudor has got a little bit of shades of Amorim about him. I think what annoyed me actually the other day, if I can get on to him for something, is that like he obviously wants this back three. That's the way he plays. But you could see in the second half, like change the system, go to a back four. Like you've got so much space in midfield that they are just eating up. Make the change, put Polinia in midfield and do something. And he didn't do it. And I don't have time for you to try and get across a back three system with, this Antonio ridiculousness. I need you to win games and stop the rot. Now, obviously against Arsenal, it's a big ask, but I don't need to keep you, I don't need to see you persist with a back three when they're clearly struggling. Be smart and put it as a back four. Help them out. So that was my concern that I saw in terms of him the other day.
And also,
I just thought the communication was so poor.
there wasn't any, man. There wasn't any
Exactly.
communication.
Exactly. Especially like
The
on
lines
that
were
left
cut.
side, anytime Jed Spence was going forward,
Yeah.
or sometimes he should have been staying back, and then you had like either like Sarr or Van de Ven coming in, and then it's like, who's meant to be filling in that space? Who's meant to be going there? They're not communicating with each other.
They saw what happened when the refs couldn't talk to each other at the beginning of the game and decided that we're going to copy that one. That's what they did there. And also, as well, just from production, this one is apparently Eze is one non-penalty goal behind Harry Kane in the North London Derby history, goals-wise.
Wait, what? That can't
So-
be right. He's the top. That can't be right, Ken.
Well, because Kane, I don't know, this is just what Kenya's telling
Ken,
me.
that
So
can't be
we
right.
can double check if we need.
I'm pretty
but
sure Harry Kane was on, like,
according
fact
to
fact check and confirm so I can laugh.
non-penalty goals, apparently Kane's got 6 in the North.
Oh, yeah,
Because he basically would just score a penalty.
He scored like 100 penalties against us. bro.
Every single time it was just the whole thing was Spurs going to start the game 1-0 up. because they got a penalty, because Kane will score a penalty.
Well, maybe
But
they
apparently,
didn't so many
according
with it.
to according to my sources,
You
according
know
to
what?
reports,
I'm loving this. I'm loving
it's
this.
one away.
I'm loving this because if
And Eze only has
if
6
Eze-
goals
if
this
Eze beats
season.
it, Spurs hold on to Harry Kane like the holy savior. Like on my timeline, I always see Spurs fans posting. Anytime Harry Kane does anything, I'm seeing on my timeline Spurs fans going, "Oh, Harry Kane, you guys said this." He doesn't even play for you anymore.
Yeah,
he doesn't
but
even play for you
he's
anymore.
the only
Why?
thing he's the best thing that ever happened to us.
That is true. We're now seeing non-Harry Kane Spurs, by the way. Non-Kane and Son Spurs.
Non-Kane Spurs won a trophy.
Yeah, but
Non-Kane Spurs won a trophy.
Also, just some news coming in. Apparently, according to the Daily Mail, Manchester United have joined the race with other Premier League clubs in monitoring Morgan Gibbs-White this summer. Interesting. And obviously, amidst the all United's need for midfielders at the moment, I think with United, obviously 1-0 win last night, which I know you before the show started, you said you weren't too happy. I know you're not a United fan, but you think the way we played wasn't great.
I thought the performance wasn't that good. I thought Bruno had one of his worst games. Like, and I'm not a Bruno hater or anything. Like, yeah, sometimes I do. He does the whole thing, but that's part of his game, innit? But I'm not going to argue with what he delivers to the team. But yesterday, it wasn't it. Like,
Well, because the way I see yesterday's game going, the way that how I feel about what happened in that game yesterday was that game under Ruben Amorim, we lose like 3-0.
oh,
The way
100%.
Everton played, right? Like can you imagine how we would have tried to deal with those corners?
Yeah.
By the way, the
no,
absolute
shout out.
disgrace.
Go on.
The disgrace that Everton were pulling in our 6-yard box, and the way that they were shoving Lenny Yoro. Stella Lammens were starting each corner 3 yards behind the goal line. They still couldn't get a single shot on target, I don't think, from any of those corners the entire time, because we had just some nice guy who looks like he should be playing, like, working as an accountant. Stella Lammens, by the way, I think had a fantastic game last night.
That's what I was going to
He
say.
had a great game. But the way Everton did those... I honestly think, in the grand scheme of things, those type of corners need to get banned in the Premier League. They need to crack down on them, because the way, like...
crack down. They can't crack down on anything.
I know they can't do it, but they should.
Apparently a push in the box, a push in the back, but we'll see it get given again next week.
No, it's
Not that I'm still holding on to
But
it.
like, it's like in the way of like Tarkovsky eventually got a yellow because he basically physically assaulted Lenny Yoro at one point and shoved him into the back of the net.
He was getting away with a lot yesterday.
Tarkovsky?
Yeah,
He's getting away with everything,
But
man.
that kind of turned against him because when you guys did score your goal, but his positioning, well, the fact that Sesko sprinted past him and just left him in the dust, I was like, there's no way you should be letting him, one, why are you that high forward or whatever, leaving one other defender behind you to go up against Mbuma, who's already a rocket by himself.
Yeah.
And then having Benjamin Sjezgo just glide past him.
Did you
hear what they said on comms about him last night?
What, Sheshko?
The new Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I did hear that. I mean, at the moment, obviously, he's got 6 goals in 7 games.
Very good off the bench.
But it's coming off.
He's
the bench,
but he's been. I mean, cool.
How do you feel? How do you
It's
feel
what
about
we've
him?
not had for ages.
How do you feel about him starting? Because a lot
I
of
would
people
like
are
to
like,
see him start.
Start him, and then he hasn't started him, and then every time he's come off the bench and.
Well,
delivered.
look, he's doing a fantastic job off the bench. It's the kind of role that Garnacho had. I remember, like, you would have seen it a few years ago, where it was like Garnacho's first season.
Yeah.
He kept coming off the bench with 20 minutes to go, and he was getting goals. He got like 15 goal involvements or something, or literally off the bench last season. Already, he's like Sheshko's under Carrick. Our bench players have scored more goals this season under Carrick than they did under Amorim.
Yeah.
We had 1 goal off the bench under Amorim before he got sacked this season. Whereas, like, it's great because let's say Sheshko does start. I would like to see him start, especially against Palace.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're only their second in 16 games
Please
on the
win.
weekend.
Please beat them.
Yeah. Well, are they part of your relegation?
Well, they're in and I don't think they're really in and around.
No,
they are.
Palace.
but they're
Palace are
not.
back to where they belong. They're 13th.
Yeah, but points wise, I don't think there's much in it. But
I think
also,
they're 9 off or something like that.
Yeah.
I need them to have some low keep the
Yeah,
confidence.
I mean,
low.
look.
We've got them in a couple of
Palace.
weeks.
Palace are going through it. They are going. I mean, we spoke about this before. I think we spoke about this on Friday. About they probably had the worst January probably of all time
Yeah.
of any Premier League club we've seen. In the way that
they had won a game.
no, but like, did you see what happened?
It's nearly March, Dylan.
Their manager
We haven't won a
announced.
game.
No, but in January, their manager announced that their captain was leaving, and then in a press conference went, "Yes, you know what? I'm going to leave as well."
Fair.
And then they lost their captain after losing Eze.
They're 6 points off us. Yeah.
6. Look.
Wait, hang on,
If we
6
can do
points.
you a favour,
If you could,
look,
that would be lovely.
I'm
Thank you.
confident we'll beat
If
them
you
because
could
they
draw,
are in
if you could
tatters.
draw against them, that would be great.
Well, are you feeling threatened?
Threatened?
No, he's just being bad
No.
mind.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm taking the mic.
Do you know what the funny thing? Yeah, these Man United fans keep joking about this, like they think they can catch us, fam. Get this out of your minds right now. It's not happening,
Is it
bro.
actually possible?
Yeah, you think you're going
Well,
to
it's
achieve the
mathematically
greatest
possible.
comeback of all times? It's not happening.
9 or 10?
Nah, that's mad. Even I can't.
Yeah, no, obviously we're not catching, but it would
I'm
be
not
very,
putting my stocks
it would be
into
very,
you.
for me, it'd be very funny if we ended up finishing the
what?
season about like
If
5
you-
points off you or
If
something.
you played the last two games, the Everton and West Ham game, as
Yeah.
good as you had played the other games in that run where you was winning,
Yeah.
I would be going. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
But
Wait a
they,
minute.
but look,
But then I
but
went-
look,
Wait a minute.
but they are very different types of games. You've been through it so much this season, where teams have basically gone,
100%.
you know what, we're going to sit there, and
100%.
you haven't looked good in those
100%.
games as you have the other
100%.
ones. Like, so
100%.
when you beat
But I don't-
Spurs, because Spurs thought, you know what, it's 2-1 here, maybe, or 1-1 at half time, maybe we can do something. You just then rip through them. Those are the kind of games when we beat City, when we rip through you and score 3 against you.
but
when we beat Spurs
that
with
was
10
even
men.
different because Spurs in the first half they got given a goal and they weren't going to do anything. We knew we was going to rip them either way. Like they was getting ripped.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Fair.
We're in the game yesterday. I went. This game could go either way.
But I do.
And if it wasn't, I swear down.
I think the way
Lammens
we
he
managed
put in
that
such a
game-
good
He was so
performance.
good.
He
Oh,
put
he
in
was
such a good
amazing.
thing
What a night to
yesterday.
have Van
If
Sar
you lot
on.
had,
Yeah, you know.
if you lot had Onana in goal yesterday,
we lost 4-0.
Finish.
Oh yeah, no, it would have been. It would have been.
Finish.
But the way I
Finished.
then see that is we've got good goalkeeper. Like I wouldn't say anything Lammens did last night was like absolutely spectacular. Like I cannot
think you
believe he
should-
did
I think
that.
you should be
He's
careful.
he's
I think
been
you should be careful what you say
he
here.
played his best game I've seen for us so far by far and away.
You've forgotten where you've come from. You've forgotten who was in goal for you.
What in Onana?
I think you should be saying that every performance that Lammens puts in is spectacular.
No, but yeah, and compared to Andre and Onana, yes.
Yeah,
But
it's just having a guy that can do the basic things right.
Yeah, and it's
The-
great,
the
and it's
normal things,
fantastic.
and not have to worry about come in and claim a cross on the corner or get beaten at your
Yeah.
near post.
And it gives
or,
your
do you know what I'm saying?
defence some calm
Yes.
behind them.
But what I'm saying is that I don't think Lammens is, for example, performing absolutely out of his skin. I think he is just a good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So when people are saying like, "Oh, did Senna Lammens save United with his punching?" Blah, blah,
Baby
blah,"
Courtois.
I'm like,
Courtois
cool.
Got
Did,
Flex called him last night. Baby
huh?
Baby Courtois.
He has had Baby Courtois since he was at Antwerp.
Baby Courtois.
We'll see. Baby Courtois, Baby Van der Sar, whatever. I mean, people look, he's Senna Lammens and he's a good goalkeeper. But for me, like you talk about the performance not being the best. No, it wasn't. It wasn't our best performance all season. Has still been that Man City game and also probably the Arsenal game as well. Like two very different types of performances, but they were
love
against
the Arsenal
teams
game, it's
who wanted to slap us and couldn't. Whether it was these teams, so Everton, I, with all due respect, wouldn't say they are the 9th best team in the Premier League. But they're sitting 9th. So I think they're performing under David Moyes
Table
quite
don't
well. West Ham, when we played them, I think had like 4 wins in 5 or something. They were very much on the up. They are on the up on the Nuno at the moment compared to they were 4 or 5 months ago. So you had 2 teams who wanted to sit there, absorb the pressure, hit us on the counter, and try and get the points. You know, obviously you got Bowen for West Ham. You got Njai. Well, is it Njai? Is that how you say his name?
Who are you trying to talk about, mate?
West Ham. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, sorry if I got that wrong. I'm very tired. But but like you got
Don't
team
blame it on
you
that.
got I got it right. I got it right. I just wanted to double check that I got it right. If you got Njai also on the counter, that was the plan. We were then able to eventually, obviously, Šeško broke through off the bench both times to get those goals to obviously win us 3 points, 3 or 4 points with his couple of goals. And I'm just like, cool, hard games, a game where David Moyes, it basically went, right, lads, hit it as high as you can, as often as you can, just all in the air everywhere, and try and just assault the centre-backs, assault the goalkeeper, something will happen. David Moyes, after the game, basically went, I cannot believe how good that goalkeeper was.
Yeah.
He literally went, he could not believe. He was like, we thought we could just bully him, and we couldn't. Because like Senna Lammens is good at that, but when you say,
a very
oh,
good
it's not
compliment.
the best performance, etc., I think it's just a case of we managed to battle against what was coming to us. Away games, horrible atmospheres, obviously for away teams. I know the weather was for both teams. You know, we got to remember it's been raining. Got to remember it's been raining. God.
Say it again.
You must remember, it's been raining.
It's been raining.
It's been raining for both teams, Ty. Come on.
Do you know what? There's so many amazing football culture moments that have come out of this building.
Oh yeah,
It has been
endless.
so
And I
funny.
reckon about half of them are Ty.
Yeah.
iconic, man.
He's the best.
He's
the
one of
greatest.
my favorite
Greatest of all
people.
times.
But overall, like you can talk about, maybe the performance weren't great, but I'm really happy to see that we were able. Obviously, after going 1-0 down against West Ham, a draw and a win, and also Šeško Šeško should have scored a second.
Yeah.
To be fair, and also the ref last night as well. The number of yellow cards Everton didn't get. I had seen Ahmad coming towards goal, and Branthwaite was pulling him back like it was nothing, and the ref went, "It's a foul," and everyone went.
Bruv, his shirt was stretching like this.
And then Branthwaite later on ripped Ahmad's shirt. Like literally, you got the United Twitter account and the Instagram account, their social team were like making things up. There's easier ways to get hold of Man United shirts, by the way, than ripping them in half. But overall,
How do you even rip a shirt in half?
I mean, it was ripped down to about here.
I know, but it's actually quite mad when you think of the material.
They're
How do you
not
even do
easy
that?
to rip at all. They're quite durable,
Yeah,
those shirts.
they're very durable.
Yeah,
So-
but regardless, I'm just look, I'm so happy for Šeško. I would like to see him start. Just even if it doesn't work against Palace, let's say he doesn't have a great game, cool. He can come off the bench and he can still be what he's doing at the moment. But I would like to see him given the chance to start because 6 goals in 7 games, 6 goals in I think 93 minutes or like 100 and something. No, I think it's 93 minutes.
It's a good turnaround, and it's a good time for maybe Carragher to build on the confidence that he'll have and go, do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to start you now, because it's even the same thing. Obviously, coming into a new league and having to learn the team, learn all these things when you're starting, learn how the league works.
It does.
It takes a bit of time, and then certainly, and we've seen it with some of the other strikers that have come into the league, having that knock of the confidence of you not coming in and performing straight away out the gate. When you get that time to just be eased in and go, do you know what, I'm starting to perform now. You just need the manager to back you and say, all right, yeah, you can start and see what you can do.
Like some of the comments are talking about obviously the 40 games a season thing, which is true. Like, so one of the comments here, Iceberg 213 says, don't get carried away. You are benefiting from playing 40 games a season. I know. But the thing is, also cool, because a lot of people have asked me, obviously I'm a United fan, and they go, okay, who do you want? Would Michael Carrick stay in charge? My general response is, I do not care about next season until next season. We need to finish in these Champions League spots badly, right? We need the extra 100 million quid that it will give us in transfer wise. It will free up wages, budgets.
But this is what I was going to say. This is what I was going to say about your performances, because obviously I don't know how true this thing about Carrick saying the players are getting a bit more rest and leniency in their training and stuff like that. When you're playing less games, you need to be even more match fit because you're performing less.
I agree.
So in the West Ham game, and then again yesterday, like the West Ham game, I went, okay, yeah, 1-0 or whatever. But then yesterday it was pretty much the same kind of performance. And I don't know if it's like some players were looking kind of a little bit tired, just not looking up to their full.
Well, is it interesting? Like, okay, what would you guys say is the ideal number of days between games? I know obviously being away from home and a bit home is different.
I think it's difficult because again, you're not a robot, but I think probably 3.
See, because I would have said 3 or 4. I think is the ideal number, which is generally 2 games a week, isn't it?
If you had the luxury of doing 4, but that would be you would play on a
Tuesday and a Sunday, Tuesday and a Saturday.
Tuesday, Saturday.
Yeah.
That would be the ideal.
Like Tuesday, Saturday, because that's Saturday, then the Sunday, Monday to rest, then you play on the Tuesday again.
Thinking of travel times, it's like as well.
Yeah.
So 4 would probably be.
But then, so for example, we had 13 days between the West Ham game and this Everton game, which I think at that point isn't an advantage.
No, I'd agree with that.
Because, for example, like Everton also didn't play. They didn't have an FA Cup game, I don't believe, so they also didn't play for a while as well. I think 13 days disrupts rhythm. Yeah. So when we're playing 1 a week, cool. Also, we have a 21-day break at the end of March.
And this is
between March 20th and April 11th, we don't play because it's
like
FA Cup.
Interlull.
Yeah, we've got FA. I think it's.
But that must be the same for all of us then.
No, because it's teams that have FA Cup.
Yeah,
so I think you might have a 21-day break as well then. But but you might have Champions League or European games. So what we have is we've got international break. We've got international break, then FA Cup weekend, then European midweek. We don't have a single game.
No, so
personally, I think I'm a bit worried about that. I know,
but this is exactly my point.
Insane.
Yeah, because I'm saying you've just
swings and roundabouts. One game a week is great. One game a week, one game a month.
Yeah, a 13-day gap, and then you're looking at the players and going, do you know what? They don't look fully match fit or whatever. So if you have a 21, like, is
basically
Carragher
that.
going to put in like some of those indoor training, whatever
Yeah,
games
must.
against whoever? Do you know what I'm saying? You need
do.
to be able to keep the match fitness of the players,
Intensity
especially
of it, yeah.
the intensity and the
Yeah,
momentum
exactly,
that the team
exactly.
has, because that stuff dies down. 3 weeks is a crazy long time to not play a game.
The
21
thing,
days
the,
is
the,
mad,
the
Dylan.
good thing about it is that part of that 21 days is the international break. So
Yeah.
like Bruno Fernandes, Šeško, Lammens, whatever, like our good players will still go out and they'll still be playing football. They'll play 2 games for their national, 1 or 2 games for the national teams for the most part. But not being 21 days is mad.
21 days off. I mean, hopefully I've got the same grace of 21 days, because I mean, 21 days without watching my team is
let
joy.
me check. Let me check if
That would
Spurs
be
are the same.
And we might have Europe in that, but
Because it's the end
We're getting
of
this qualified.
it's the end of March to the beginning, around the beginning of April is when we don't have any
that's
games.
insane.
So you've got 22nd of March to 11th of April. So that's 19 days.
Why? Because there's European football.
No, actually, you don't even have European foot. No, it's just you're playing Forest at home on the 22nd of March, and then you're playing Sunderland away April 11th.
But
So you've got like
if
an
we
18-day
were
break.
to get through the next round of Champions League, then there probably would be a game in that. No,
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I mean, I won't hope on it.
If production can actually just double check that, that'd be
Yeah.
great. But yeah, but like because the argument of you're only playing 40 games a season, yeah. And also, I'm not getting carried away about it, because I'm well aware that when we are playing 1 game a week, so after the March international break, we're looking at like 1 game a week
Yeah.
in the running. Cool. Meanwhile, Aston Villa are in the Europa League, right? They're dropping points again. Chelsea dropped some points. Liverpool took a 96th minute winner to try and go through. They're also in the Champions League, so they're going to want to go as far as they can, even if it's just a monetary thing. Obviously, the players won't be thinking about that, but obviously, like the club will be like, no, we want to get as far as we can in the Champions League. Just see what happens. We're there going, we've got nothing else to do at that point. Fantastic, cool. But which is why I've been saying, and as I said about a month ago, I think we can finish 3rd,
yeah,
because the situation is everything. Why it's in our favour is a different story, but it is in our favour right now. We've ended up in this situation where we look great. Since the start of 2026, we are top of that league in terms of like 16 out of 18 points. No team's got more, which is great. Like it shows.
That's funny, just because when we used to do that, you lot used to love. That don't count for
but-
nothing.
but-
It's just a calendar
but
year. What are you
that's-
talking about?
That's because you would do it in November.
true.
No,
You would-
November.
you-
no,
you
no,
would
no.
go, yes,
no,
we bottled
no,
the
no,
league
no, not
title,
November.
but
Not
in-
November.
No, you
My
did it
production.
3
Cut his
years
mic
in a
off.
row.
Cut his mic off. Yeah.
3 years in a row you did that.
No. This is what you used to have. And I'm
Cecil
talking
did-
back in the
Cecil did
days.
print
Yeah, I'm
t-shirts in
talking
November.
Wenger days. Yeah, I'm talking Wenger days. Yeah, because we would do the thing where we would get to February, then we would drop out of everything, then we'd get to the end of the season, not win anything, and Wenger would turn around and go, well, in the calendar year, we have the most points of all the teams. And then you lot would laugh at us, fam. And now you're turning around and you're doing that right now.
Yeah, because you would do it at the end of the year and parade it around like it was some massive
I
success.
just told you what
You'd
it
be
is,
like,
and you
in
just
the
telling
last
me the
3
difference.
years, we've
No,
got
no,
more
no,
points
no,
than
no,
Man
no,
City
no, no,
over the last like 3 seasons. I'm doing it in the middle of February because all I'm saying is that we look good, we look
It's all right.
fresh, and we
It's
look
all right.
fit.
I already triggered you, fam. Your head
But
went flying everywhere,
to
fam. It was funny. It was
to go back
hilarious.
to your point about the performances and stuff that you said at the beginning, if we play a bit of an iffy game against Palace, then maybe I'll be like, okay, we need to reassess. Like, we can't be doing that again. But I do think the performances against West Ham, I was annoyed at the performance against West Ham. I mean, people who were watching, Laurie was going on like, oh, you're so entitled, Dylan, you don't deserve those 3 points anyway. But the performances were kind of, the Everton game that's what was going to happen
Wait, are you playing Palace at home or away?
at home on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, you're beating them.
That's what I mean. Is that
You'll
we're
be-
back at home on
Yeah,
Sunday
yeah,
at
yeah,
Old
yeah.
Trafford. First time in like 3 weeks we've been at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Crowd will be up for it, ready
Yeah.
for it. Hopefully Šeško starts, get some goals in, and then everything will be all right. Ronnie Dodge also says, Lammens' best bargain, we got Šeško pace is scary. I do think Lammens, pound for pound, has been one of the best signings I've seen from us in a long time.
I'd agree with that.
So obviously, like Mbumo's fantastic signing. Cunha, I think, has been a great signing. But you're buying a £60 million player for £60 million.
Yeah.
I think 18 million quid for Lammens is a
Oh, I
very,
think it's a
very
great
good
bit of
buy.
business. I think
Very,
it's
very good
very
buy.
good.
Considering all the other alternative that Ruben Amorim wanted was Emi Martinez for like 35. And he was pushing so hard for that, and our goalkeeper scout went, nah.
Aren't you
He went,
happy?
no.
Aren't you
I
happy
think-
they didn't listen to him.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
God we didn't give him a veto.
Flex said what all United needed from a goalkeeper
You're
was a
getting
guy.
props for your Wenger impression, by the way.
guy.
Oh, no, all Flex said was that you guys needed a goalkeeper that needed to be not noticed.
Yeah.
A normal
Yeah.
guy, the boring guy that sits in the back of the class and does nothing. You don't even notice he's there. He just does his work.
Did you see
and
what
he
they
goes on
called
about his
him
business.
on Versus last night?
Nah.
Oh, they called him the accountant. They said that he's the Vat van der Sar.
Oh, is it?
It was actually
Oh,
really
that's
funny.
that's
Let
very
me
good.
Find it. It was actually really jokes.
Hey, Filthy Fellas is brilliant.
No, that was Versus.
Oh, was that Versus? Sorry, I mean, well, regardless, shout out Phil.
Regardless.
Shout out. It's because I've been
actually
seeing
really
so many
funny.
KG clips from Filthy Fellas recently.
Yeah,
Because KG's just constantly on it, chatting.
Hey,
what he does.
KG. I don't, because I ain't been watching your live streams yet, obviously, because I'm working on other channels that will not be named. United View. Anyway, he had a soundbite for Benjamin Sesko, yeah, and I made it for him, yeah, and we were singing it for the whole of pre-season.
What was the song?
It was Cisco just doing his ad libs.
Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, that, yeah. I just wanted to put. We were waiting the whole preseason and the whole thing, and we thought that the button might get rinsed because this guy was meant to be like the truth,
Yeah.
and it hasn't happened. So I just wanted to check KG if you was actually doing that. I say that I'm probably just gonna call you and be like, oh yeah, have you pressed the Cisco button?
But on the topic of goalkeepers, also last night as well, I don't know if you guys saw that. Jamie Carragher did his list of the top
Oh,
10
yeah, I saw
Premier
that.
League goalkeepers of all time.
Right.
And I want to know if you disagree with any of these. So at number 10, he got Pepe Reina. Number 9, David Seaman. Number 8, Neville Southall. Number 7 was Edison. Number 6 was Edwin van der Sar. Number 5, Thibaut Courtois. Number 4, David De Gea. Number 3, Alisson. Number 2, Peter Schmeichel. Number 1, Petr Cech. It's an interesting list. Like,
I can't
because
disagree with any of them. I mean, we could swap
I
the
think
orders,
I think
but
De Gea is too high personally.
I think so as well.
yeah, because the way he did this list was some of his rationale was to do with their achievements, and some of them was to do with how good they were.
Because
he
David De Gea had, don't get it twisted, there was a period where he was winning Man United Player of the Month, Player of the Year. For
Player of the Year, like 3 years in a row, yeah.
Three seasons in a row. Like, he was literally at a time when you thought that it wasn't going to get any worse than it was. He was saving you lot so many times. And it was funny because some of the backlash, the way that people wanted to get rid of him, it was like, oh, we've had enough of De Gea, or, you know, his time of football. And then he goes out and Onana comes in. Even though I know in that last season, David De Gea had a couple mares. But at the same
it was
time,
more than a couple.
Yeah,
About
yeah.
18 months of just absolute
there
terrible
was, but
football. for
Onana
him.
said, hold my beer, and he came
Yeah,
in
it
and
made
he
it so much worse.
he done a madness.
Madness. No, I think De Gea like is up there, but I don't know if he's as high as that. Read me the list again, sorry.
So what, from 10 to 1? Reina, Seaman, Southall, Edison, Van der Sar, Courtois, De Gea, Alisson, Schmeichel, Cech. The issue I take with this list, so for example, I wouldn't say Edison is the 7th best Premier League goalkeeper of all time based on, like, he was such a
he's
unique goalkeeper, but that's why he was in this list. So basically Carragher went, Edison's got like 6 Premier League medals, which is obviously mad, and obviously he's got the most assists from a goalkeeper in Prem history, which is 2 fantastic stats. But then he went, that's why he's number 7. But then I'm going to put David De Gea in there because he was just very, very good at saving shots. I think De Gea is
Edison-
incredible,
I think
right?
Edison should be higher.
But I think David De Gea was very specifically an incredible shot stopper.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he came in at a time where all we ever did was concede shots.
Where do you stand on the Petr Cech one?
I kind of look, Cech and Schmeichel, it's so close that I personally think Schmeichel over Cech because of like the height that Schmeichel had was higher than the
think
height that Cech had.
I think Cech was an amazing keeper. Not when he was at you lot.
But at Chelsea.
At Chelsea.
It was all right. Yeah, first season you won a Golden Glove and that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I look at him. I think of Petr Cech as Chelsea Petr Cech, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that. But I think that it's very close between them two. But I would go Schmeichel.
I would go Schmeichel as well, but I perfectly understand the reason why people would go.
And
I just think
I'd have
Schmeichel as well.
Alisson
Like,
third.
so one of the KC2K16 says Cech better than Schmeichel. GHFOH because I
means?
can't read that out. Well, I can't read it out
Okay,
on live
Schmeichel,
at 5.
know if you knew what it meant.
I know what it means.
Okay, clever boy.
But I think with me I think Schmeichel was a better goalkeeper all round.
Yeah.
Right, distribution wise, his distribution was so underrated. Like some of the comments talking about his distribution as well, he was fantastic. He won a treble. He literally won a treble, cartwheeling. And I know Schmeichel, the end of Schmeichel's United career was. He's not too loved by some people at United because of the way that he obviously went Villa and City and stuff when he said he was meant to go abroad. But I think overall, He was a better goalkeeper, but I also understand why some people, because also Czech was more recent. I understand why people will go for Czech, if that makes sense. Like, it's not...
See, Courtois obviously was unreal, but Courtois wasn't there for that long.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put him that high.
I would also drop him as well.
I think you've got to be doing it like...
It is what I
would
mean.
put-
I feel
would
the
put-
list.
I would put Van der Sar high, because for me...
Van der Sar,
yeah.
by the way, Van der
Before-
Sar higher than both De Gea and
Yeah,
Courtois.
because-
Yeah.
And I would also maybe a stretch back Alisson as well.
Maybe as, but how
That-
many?
that
How many
is the
win
one where
three
I'll
Premier
say-
Leagues?
Huh?
3 Premier Leagues.
Van der Sar?
Yeah, Van der
Yeah.
Sar.
Was it only 3?
I think that you
3 in
can-
a row, innit?
I think
He won
one,
3 in a row. I think he won more than 3 overall.
I think 1, 2,
Three
and 3 is
back-to-backs.
correct, but it
Back to
depends
back
on
to
what
back,
order
baby.
you want it in. I think 1 and 2 could change, but I think Alisson is.
He
3.
won 4.
He won 4.
07, 08, 09, 11. So
The
that's
fact that David De Gea is
4 and
number
5
4
years.
is
Yeah,
wild.
I would
Like,
have put Van der Sar way higher, and even before he went to Man United, because I wanted us to buy him before he went to Man United.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, if we get Edwin Van der Sar, and then he went to
Mate,
you
he
lot,
was-
and then
because
he
also
was,
as well, he was awesome at Fulham.
Yeah, he was
so
amazing
good.
at Fulham. He
was-
was amazing at Fulham. And
Yeah.
that was the thing. I was like, oh, we could get this goalkeeper from this team.
That's
not
what I
even
mean.
that
Like, kind of like Courtois was great at Chelsea, but I think Courtois there is being
Courtois-
carried a bit by how good he was at Real Madrid.
Yeah,
But I remember, I can't remember which goalkeeper it was, but Carragher made the argument that one of them isn't as high as he should be because he did better outside of it. I can't remember which goalkeeper it was.
Probably
But
Courtois.
I do think Van der Sar is. I'd probably go him over Alisson though. Still,
I think that should be Schmeichel, Czech, Alisson, Van der Sar.
well, funnily enough, you mentioned this
Edison.
because I was going. Half the reason I brought this up is because I wanted to bring up with Rocket Ranked
Right.
about because obviously Rocket Ranked. Obviously, we rate top 3 things here, and I thought this was such a good thing to talk about. Was what would your top 3 or even top 5 be
Yeah,
aside from this list?
top 5.
yeah.
Oh, go on, Abby.
No, go on, go on.
All right, top 5. Yeah, winners first, obviously. I would go Schmeichel first, Czech second, Van der Sar third, Alisson fourth, and then I'll probably put De Gea fifth. Nah, actually, Arsenal bias. Throwing David Seaman in there.
I thought you were about to say like Raya or
Seaman.
something.
Just for bias.
Also, like the loveliest human as well, David Seaman.
I've
Nice.
never met him,
Oh
but
my
I've
God,
heard
he's the
I've heard so many
nicest-
good things about him.
nicest
Yeah,
man.
actually, I've listened to a couple episodes of his podcast previously.
Lovely.
Actually, I'm dropping him because he's Leeds scum, and you know I hate the Leeds.
He's lovely.
But okay, but what would your top 5 be,
My
Abby?
top 5 would be, again, like I said, it's hard to split the first 2. I think I would go with Schmeichel, Czech, Alisson, and then I'd go Van der Sar, Edison.
Edison, interesting.
Yeah, I think that you cannot overlook the big moments that Edison had for Manchester City and what he has also achieved. I think that's crazy.
I would happily say I think he was the most unique goalkeeper I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Like that guy, but one of the things Carragher said was he's pretty sure he could have played centre back in a couple
He
games.
was-
Like
he
his
was
left foot,
phenomenal.
it was like they played his 7 Premier League assists, and I was looking at it and going, he's not hoofing it there, he's just passing
I
it.
don't think there's actually enough respect on Edison.
This is what some of the comments
like,
are saying.
obviously, because from a Brazil point of view, Alisson always started.
Because Alisson is the better goalkeeper.
Yeah, but I think that maybe that played a factor. I think that Edison was so pivotal.
The Edison's maybe unlucky then that Alisson happened to be in
Well,
the same
yeah,
league
of
and the
course.
same team as him.
Of course, I also think that Edison was really pivotal in the way that obviously Manchester City played all those years. Like,
It wasn't even just Manchester City because everyone thought, right, we can all get our goalkeepers to do this now.
Yeah, he
That-
set a
He
trend.
basically changed the way that goalkeepers were playing in the league.
He's really disrespected, I think, and I think that having Courtois fifth is a bit of a cop out because as an amazing goalkeeper he is, he weren't in the Prem long enough for me to warrant a top 5 place.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it should be. I'd put Van der Sar 4th, and I'd have Edison 5th. Yeah, that would be my.
Yeah.
That would be my top.
Schmeichel, Czech, Van der Sar, Alisson. See, but
AGT's fully going to come for you, by the way, for putting Alisson out of your top 4.
Agatha, no one's scared of him.
I've never heard anyone call him Agatha before.
great.
Literally his name, AGT, bro. Agatha.
That's so good. I don't know to put the 5th down because you have put such a good argument forward for Edison. I'm fine. I'm gonna go De Gea. Whatever. Even though I feel maybe not. It's been. But I massively get the Edison argument just because, as I said, I think he's the most unique goalkeeper I ever watched play. Like he's like he came in and like I remember.
Do you know what? Yeah. I'm swapping it.
Was it Watford
I'm
away?
De Gea for Edison, fam.
Was it Watford away where Edison ran out and ran just like dribbled to the halfway line and then passed it and stayed there?
Yeah. It's only because like I'm giving De Gea credit because
you know what? No,
he won that
Senna
league.
Lammens, number 5.
No, I'm giving him credit because in that, obviously, he won the league with Man United at first. You know, Sir Alex said
Layman's a good shout.
he's a good shout, but I wouldn't put him.
I wouldn't put him top 5.
Yeah,
but he's
you know what I'm
a
saying?
shout to be over there, be in there.
Love the big crazy German fam.
Yeah.
But yeah, De Gea, I just think he had such outstanding performances as a goal. If you just look at it, like not even as the team thing or
What, De
whatever,
Gea?
just as a goalkeeper.
Mate, some of his saves.
Were just like amazing.
I-
do you know what I'm
I
saying?
do think
and
in-
even though I hate Man
yeah.
United,
I just don't think he can be above. I'm sorry. I just don't think he can be above Edison.
It's one of those things where
And I don't
obviously
think he can be above Anderson.
No, but I think I'm
6
giving it
Premier
that.
League titles that Edison got will put it in his favour over
That-
David De Gea.
and
but
that-
also
and
the
it's
number of
whole
mistakes.
changing the style of the way that goalkeepers are playing. That's a big thing. It's the not the equivalent to, but it's the same way Wenger coming in and going, "Hey, these beers that you're drinking at half time, less of that." Do you know what I'm saying? Changing the way that the league is working. I think that's a big thing. So yeah, he'll pip
Also,
De Gea for
I
me.
use the argument for Schmeichel winning a treble. Edison literally won a treble. I think maybe then I would put actually Edison in then. You guys have done well to convince me with that. But De Gea as well, I think as a shot stopper, I would argue De Gea might be up there as one of the best shot stoppers of all time. I'm talking purely someone hits the ball at him and then someone else does it. Like you guys saw it at the Emirates. That one of the best Premier League,
23
best
shots.
goalkeepers, the best goalkeeping performances anyone has ever put up in the 90 minutes in the Premier League. And that was my first ever United game away from home. Fun fact.
Damn you,
It was great. I was in the Arsenal end. I was in the Arsenal family stand by myself. It was great. Well, no one was buying tickets. Like you were all trying to not buy tickets anymore at that point. Or was it like 2015? But also before we end, also obviously we got some Champions League games coming up tonight. The first one being, which should be a good fun one, is Atletico Madrid currently 3-3 with Club Brugge from the first leg. That game's already kicked off. It's currently 0-0. What do we make of Atletico Madrid as a club? Because I can't tell if sometimes I quite like them or sometimes I really don't like them.
I like Simeone. I always have. I like him. I like the fact that he's always just stuck to his principles. Well, I like that's actually probably me being a bit of a hypocrite because I don't always want managers to stick to their principles. But when you are successful in your principles, I think that it's fine. You can stick to them. I like him. I like that he's always been different. Can't lie. I always like the fit. I always like the suit. With the
I like
shirt.
that he's just a bit aggy.
I like him.
I like
Got
if
fire.
when he gets angry and stuff like that. It's just it comes out.
The housery.
Yeah, man, I love it.
Oh.
It was
housery.
hard to say all the things I wanted to describe him without swearing. That was very difficult.
The housery.
Yeah,
The housery.
I like all of that. But also, I like them because they're like it's always the big two, Real Madrid and Figo. I like that they're like
They're
the
always,
underclub.
yeah.
That's just up there.
The guys that are just poking you with a stick a little bit like that.
I do like that.
Yeah.
About him.
I think,
And also,
but
I like that how even though football has changed so much and we've had the different eras, he's never really changed for the most part. It might be the odd bit here and there, but he is who he is, and he.
I got to
sets the
say,
team
I
how
went
it's set
to
up.
go see an Atletico game towards the back end of last season.
Bored?
Huh?
Are you bored?
Well, it was Sorloth scored 4 goals in 25 minutes or something when I went. No, but I went to go see my brother was living in Madrid at the
right.
time, so I went to go see, and then we were like, oh, let's go. The tickets were like 40 quid. I was like, you know what, I may as well
that'd
go.
be a dream,
Yeah, but I was kind of underwhelmed with the stadium. There's nothing there. The stadium is in the kind of the middle of nowhere.
The new stadium.
The new stadium, yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's in the middle.
The Wonder
Yeah.
It's
I think it's called the Riyadh Air
No. It's
Metropolitano.
no. And their museum
It's the
is
Wonder.
elite. When you go in there, yeah, and it's all just like black with the red lights and then just bare trophies. Yeah. Their museum was sick.
But when I went, and then I went to go and buy like a snack, and I thought I could get a drink at half time, and they basically just had a mini fridge. They were like because in as you're not allowed to sell alcohol in Spanish stadiums. I never knew that. Because I was like, it was like 7 p.m. on a Friday evening or something. I was like, oh, you know what?
Want a bev?
I was like, yeah, I'll go get a beer, watch the game, whatever. But then the snacks were like, here's like a packet of crisps for like €7, and they were like, do you want a fruit shoot? And I was like, no, not really. But I think Atletico Madrid are home for this game against Club Brugge. Obviously, it's 3-3. Club Brugge put up a solid fight in that first leg, but I think Atletico Madrid, being at home, will be able to get through this game.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Who else we got tonight?
Also Newcastle are
they've-
currently 6-1 up against Carragher
Right.
from the first leg. Now they're at home at St James's Park.
hell yeah.
Will this be the kind of game that Eddie Howe goes, you know what, lads, just go and do that again because it's fun? Or will he just kind of play?
I think you'll probably get
Play
a bit
no
of
one.
rotation for tonight. I would expect.
Because Newcastle's next game in the Prem after this is Everton at home,
Yeah, I think.
which will be a bit of a dogfight.
Yeah, I think he'll rotate, but I still think they'll kind of go for it because you want to keep that.
Get
forward
Harvey
momentum
Barnes
that
playing.
they've got.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Alvarez. Good point. I forgot about him. I think that'll be a good one. KC2K16 also says, by the way, in the goalkeeper situation, thank you for the super chat. He says, Czech was carried by Terry, Cole, Carvalho, and Makalele. Schmeichel did far more with less in defence.
I don't think you can say that a keeper was carried, in my opinion.
Also, I don't think you can say. Obviously, I think that Chelsea defence obviously was incredible,
Yeah.
but it's not like Schmeichel had bums in
Goalkeeper,
front of him.
you still got to face shots. If you didn't
Yeah.
face any shots and there was no proof that people saw with the eye test, they wouldn't even put him in the
It's
conversation.
crazy. I don't think you
Yeah.
can say that a keeper was carried.
Yeah,
Like he's literally like the last line. Like it's
Yeah.
not really a thing where you carry the keeper. And
no, a keeper tends to carry a team. Like a keeper can't generally be carried by a team.
No, like-
it's either they are playing as good as the team or they are better.
Yes, I agree. I don't think you can.
Like I wouldn't say like Onana was carried by us to Europa
Definitely
League
not.
final or something.
I think that
Oh,
a keeper. I
disgrace.
think it sometimes sets the tone for the team. Like you're the last line of defence, and you're obviously the first person there. So
Yeah,
like,
and as we've seen it at Old
everything
Trafford,
starts and ends with
if the
you.
keeper's calm and composed and good,
Everything else.
everything else
100%.
just kind of falls into place from there.
Yeah,
No, I'm not mocking the Atletico Madrid stadium. I just said I was surprised about how bare it was. There was no paint in the inside; it was just concrete. I was like, come on, you can do something here, lads. You can make it a bit more. It might have just been the stand I was in, to be fair. But Newcastle, I can see like 3 or 4 still here.
Yeah.
At home, St James's Park, obviously coming off the back of a loss against Man City, away from home, a loss that wasn't like a bad loss at all.
I told you it wasn't going to be as.
No, you were
thing
right.
as-
You were right.
as-
You were definitely right. But I can see like a 3-4-0 here for Newcastle. Maybe 1 goal for Carragher. But like Newcastle got the hard bit out of the way going to Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Like I think that's,
They got the job done.
Yeah, that's
which
fine.
Is what you want.
Other 2 games, if I can absolutely find them. Leverkusen, Olympiacos. Leverkusen are already 2-0 up from the first leg, and now they're at home.
Yeah, they're playing at home.
I reckon
they're going
there's-
through.
Yeah, they're going through. It's fine. And the last one is
Inter versus-
big up to Abbi's, probably your favourite club in Europe at the moment, is Bodo.
Oh yeah, I really want them to do the madness.
Because they're 3-1 up against Inter.
I know. I love it, and I hope. And now they're at home tonight.
Champions League finalists.
Yeah,
and
they were my-
They're at Bodo tonight?
No, they're at
Well,
Inter
look,
tonight.
I think that it's. I really like them. They've got a special place in my heart. So I hope. Hopefully,
That's why I said probably your favourite club at the
they
moment
are.
right now.
They are. They are.
Disgraceful. You should only support your own team. You're a disgrace.
Do you not have any
I'm getting to
European
a point
teams
I
that you
can't.
quite like?
Yeah, Arsenal.
But you've never won anything in Europe.
Any teams non-Premier
have.
League, non-English, non-British?
You've won a few
Or
games.
any teams on the
on
continent?
games, not
Arsenal.
on trophies.
No
Arsenal
soft
is my
spots for
team.
anyone.
Literally,
Arsenal's my
no
team.
heritage
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Don't. What about that time when Arsenal was my team and I said Arsenal will be my team and I'm not going to support anybody else? I'm not going to put on any other shirts for any other teams.
It's so
I would
scary.
never do that. I would never disrespect my team like that. I would never support another team in this country. I would never support another team in another country. I'll never support another under 18s. I'll never support another women's team. None of them. None of them ever.
So
Don't even
scary.
ever think about that.
How good the impressions you reflect.
It's very very good, but at the same time with Thai impressions, the thing I love is all you just have to extend one letter in a word.
Yeah.
What about that time? Where's the card then? Where's the card?
It's just
But what are we saying then? Are Bodo going through?
yeah, I'm backing it.
they're-
2-goal lead. They've got 3-1 up. Obviously, away goals don't mean anything anymore.
I reckon yeah.
They've been my dark horse. I put both them and Benfica as dark horses, but I can't call Benfica a dark horse no more because, well, you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna say just because I'm believing, yeah, and I've got grudge against Inter, Bodo.
Yeah, man, I want Bodo to do it. I think it'd be great. To do it. So, Bodo Klimt, you got 3 panelists here backing you tonight. Regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a great show. I've really enjoyed
Yeah,
today's
it's
show.
been a
It's been a
show.
really
See
good,
you
really good
tomorrow.
chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Obviously, I've been Dylan, your host. Abby, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow,
And you got me
Josh.
Friday as well.
And Friday. Oh, yeah, me, you, and Kenny are on Friday, I think it is at the moment. It'll be a great show. Josh, thank you for coming on as always. It's been great.
In your face, Tottenham, you absolute disgrace, you Leeds of the South. I hope you get relegated.
We need another game night. We
And
need-
on that-
we
we
need
need
to
game
move on
night.
From this game. this game.
And on that bombshell, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers.
Let's go.
What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.